this has all kinds of cool stuff kind of hidden and tucked away inside of it musically. Hey everybody, how's it going? I've got another brand new music video reaction / review coming at you today, and this one is for A Bad Thing by Purfles. And as you probably know already, I really like their debut single 123, so I'm really excited to see what they'll do next. And full disclosure, anytime I know a singer or producer or writer for any of these songs, or if I've personally worked with the group or on any of these songs that I'm talking about, I want to be totally transparent and let you guys know. Now, I can assure you that nobody controls what I say or do on this YouTube channel. I always give my honest analysis of the music and production and everything else for what it is, and actually all of the artists and companies who I have talked to are very aware of the fact that I may criticize their music at any point if that's the conclusion I come to in my analysis. You know, they're professionals, they understand this, but I did want to tell you guys that I have talked to Purfles online, on social media, mostly Woo Young, she's really cool, but I had nothing to do with the writing or production or anything else having to do with this track, and I had absolutely no knowledge of anything about this track until right now. So we're all watching it for the first time. Let's jump right in and check it out. Got some vocal sampling going on, that's pretty cool.
나 혼자 핸드폰을 또 멍하니 밥한 숟가락 들 기운 없이 너 없을 때로 돌아갈 공리 시간이 얼마나 갔는지 모른 채 나의 동선은 거기서 거기에 밤조차 열 기운 없이 널 만나기 전으로 돌아갈 공리 사람들이 말해 다 내가 다
Kind of a slow jam, this is interesting.
눈물이 날 것 같아 추억은 빛바래 네 기억도 그저 그래 그때마다 슬픔을 날려버릴래 너의 나 나쁜 짓 내게 더 돼서 키겠지 정신 차려보니 너도 나와 마찬가지 눈 가이게 같은 꼴이겠지 너의
Really like this chord progression. Kind of has that cool like ascending feel to it. Changing things up a little bit for the second verse. A little bit of like a dropout in the backing track, keeping it interesting.
그때마다 눈물이 날 것 같아 추억은 빛바래 네 기억도 그저 그래 그때마다 슬픔을 날려버릴래 너의 나 나쁜 짓 내게 더 돼서 키겠지
Where did they just appear?
너도 나와 마찬가지 눈 가이게 같은 꼴이겠지
All of a sudden they're like in a greenhouse? It's pretty cool though.
눈물을 흘려보니 정신이 번쩍 들지 네가 있던 거야 이제야 알겠니
Some amazing vocal production. And singing of course.
그래 내가 바보지 전부 내 잘못이지 그저 퍼주기만 했던 널 만나기 전에 남자들이 조금은 난 것 같아 그래도 사랑한단 말은 해줬으니까 너의 나쁜 짓 내게 더 키겠지
Alright.
너도 나와 마찬가지 눈 가이게 깜빡거리겠지 너의
This has all kinds of cool stuff kind of hidden and tucked away inside of it musically. Oh, that was really, really cool. They actually did a lot of really surprising songwriting and production things right at the end of the song there, and it just kind of kept building and building and building towards the end. And as I'm sure you guys all know by now, I'm not really a ballad person, and I don't dislike ballads, but for me to really get wrapped up in one and enjoy it, it needs to have like some extra stuff going on, and it just needs to be an overall excellent song and production, and I think this song qualifies for that. And I know this song is more of a slow jam, kind of groovy ballad, but still, the fact that it was a much lower intensity song, the tempo was fairly slow, and you know, it's supposed to be that way by design stylistically, so I think this song definitely would qualify or fall into the sort of ballad category. But there was enough other stuff in it, and it was executed so well vocally by Purfles, and it was produced so well that it could still keep the interest of somebody like me who's more naturally drawn to really intense music. And actually, this song has a lot of understated intensity within it, but they managed to keep it within the framework and style of this type of track, so it still fit in the kind of genre or sound that they were going for without sounding over the top or ridiculous. So there's a lot of these sort of high-level concepts going on with this song, you know, emotional content, overall tone, overall sound, what fits, what's appropriate for this kind of song to deliver this kind of message sonically, and I think they did those things really well on all of those different levels. So let's jump back in, I'll analyze this song, I'll try to point out more of the technical things, both production-wise and vocally, and then I'll also try to point out some examples of the things I've just been talking about that are some of the more conceptual or stylistic things going on with the track. So let's go ahead and jump back into A Bad Thing. Here we go. I like the brass stabs here at the beginning, as usual. It was an interesting choice to go with like some sampled vocals over that really like traditional piano sound. It's kind of a cool contrast. It's like a really modern EDM thing over like an old bluesy R&B type of piano part. Production-wise, I can't really complain about much, but I would have liked to hear the bass part, the bass guitar part, a little bit more, because it's a really cool part. Great singing, great artistry, great attention to detail throughout. They really understand this kind of genre, this kind of sound. They didn't oversing anything, which I think is kind of easy to do when you're a powerhouse vocal group like Purfles and you're doing a more restrained song like this. So I'm really, really excited that they were able to kind of rein that in and show that they can do other stuff with their voice. And see, they still got those really intense kind of vocal riffs, but they're presented in such a way that it's not over the top. It still fits into this kind of style and genre. The vocal layering here is amazing. Here right there, there's a lot of detune on the voice, as well as some layering and doubling. As I mentioned before, I think this is really great how they changed up the second verse. Kind of stripped everything down, cut everything back. Got that cool funky guitar going on. Perfectly complements the sort of mood and style of the vocals. And listen to this build here before the chorus. This song is a little low-key, but don't let it fool you. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. The chorus has an overall, like, upward movement kind of feeling. It feels like it's going somewhere, and the chords kind of go upwards, which I think is really good for a song like this. If there's not extra interest in a slower song with lower intensity by design, I think it can feel kind of stagnant. When I first started listening to this song, I was a little worried that that was going to happen. And then they threw in this really interesting bridge. And then from here to the end of the song just got like way cooler for me, and it totally like roped me in and got my attention. No No percussion here. Just like a shaker or a tambourine. So I thought that was going to be the extent of the cool stuff arrangement-wise. But no, listen to this. That is some cool stuff going on right there. Totally caught me off guard. And then even quicker than they kind of build up from the bridge to the end chorus where it's got tons of intensity, a lot of cool things going on arrangement-wise. They just ended the song and then had that little vocal sample kind of trailing as a ghosted outro. So if we're speaking in kind of broad terms here in like emotions or intensity or overall movement of the song, from the beginning of the song it's kind of just a groovy jam. It's a little bit sleepy. It might lull you into like a comfort zone a little bit. Then the chorus comes in, you get to hear some of their amazing vocals. There's intensity there, but not too much. The second verse kind of backs off a little bit, kind of draws you in, lulls you to sleep a little bit more. Same thing for the second chorus, then the bridge really backs off, strips everything down, probably makes you feel like the song isn't really going to go anywhere. And then coming out of the bridge, there's just so much more intensity. The song really takes off, really gets interesting. And it's like the entire song up to that point is just designed to be really pleasant sounding, get your interest, but also kind of manage your ear and your brain's expectations of what can happen at the end of the song. So when they do finally get there, it's just way more dramatic, and I feel like they really knocked the end out of the park. The vocals throughout this song and the vocal production I felt like were extremely good, and the song is actually very dynamic in both of those areas. You know, you have some sections like the verses where it's just one vocal all by itself, very close, very exposed, and kind of quiet, and that's one style of singing and one style of vocal production. And then to hugely contrast that, you've got stuff like the chorus where there's just tons of power, lots of vocal layering and harmonies, and I was also hearing some production tricks like direct doubling and also some pretty extensive use of vocal detune, which is one of my favorite effects. It gives a really cool thick sound, and it complements voices like Woo Young's especially well, so I really like how they put this all together. The only thing that I worry about, I can't really criticize this song for what it is because it's extremely well done, but I worry that the choice of doing this song that's a little more relaxed, a little less intense than something like 1, 2, 3 might not grab everyone's attention quite as much, because a song like 1, 2, 3 was just so powerful, it was so in your face, so impactful that you couldn't help but notice it. This song, all of that great stuff that Purfles has to offer is still there, but you have to listen a little bit harder, a little more carefully to hear it, and it's not so assertive and in your face like 1, 2, 3 was. And for a group that's starting out and trying to gain some popularity in a super competitive market like K-pop, sometimes you need a song that's really more assertive, more intense, more in your face to kind of make people take notice of you. So I hope people will still notice Purfles even if they're doing a song that's not quite as intense as 1, 2, 3. I think the musical quality, the artistry, the musicianship, the production is all there. So as long as people notice it, I think they'll like it, and we'll just have to see what happens. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this reaction/review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you could share this video all over the place, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, forums, all that stuff really helps us out. And I just wanted to say hello, Woo Young. It's great to hear you singing again, and I'll see you guys next time.